Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Mending Fences by Sherryl Woods, performed by Tanya Eby. One. Present. Grady Rodriguez had been a police officer for nearly 20 years, but he'd never gotten used to interviewing young women who'd been the victims of date rape. It wasn't quite the same as talking to those who'd been assaulted by strangers. For those women, there was little ambiguity about the attack. It was usually random, unexpected, violent, and degrading. It could happen to any woman at any age who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Date rape tended to happen to young, often inexperienced women who knew their attacker. They were left with 1,000,001 questions about what they might have done differently, how their judgment about the guy could have been so wrong, why saying no hadn't been enough. He'd responded to too damn many of those calls, listened to too many broken-hearted sobs, seen too many injuries. In either case, the women questioned everything about themselves. They dealt with unwarranted shame, sometimes made 1,000 times worse by the well-meaning reactions of the people who loved them. In all instances, it changed who they were, made them more cautious, less trusting. Sometimes it destroyed relationships or even marriages. From everything he could see as he and his partner, Naomi Lansing, walked into the off-campus Coral Gables apartment where tonight's attack had happened, Lauren Brown was typical. A pretty college student with shiny, long blonde hair, she barely looked old enough to date. A kid that young shouldn't have had her innocence stripped away in a manner that left her eyes glazed with pain and disillusionment. Seeing her huddled in a corner of the bed in her room in tears, Grady wanted to punch his fist through a wall. But Naomi was cool and calm, the kind of soothing presence the situation required. Naomi's compassion allowed him to remain in the background, to study the scene in a coldly analytical way. They were the perfect team for this kind of investigation, something he'd never have predicted back when they'd first been assigned to work together, and every encounter had been a test of wills. "She was like that when I came in," Lauren's roommate Jenny Ryan told them in an undertone, "just rocking back and forth and crying. She said her date had hurt her, but she wouldn't say anything else."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?